Chapter 9. Reductions in Force, RIFs, and Layoffs.
101. What do I need to know before laying someone off?
There are certain guidelines that you will need to follow when considering a layoff. Specifically, you'll need to evaluate the appropriate position to be impacted, the appropriate employee to be laid off, the legitimate reason for the reduction in force, how long the position could remain unfilled, what could happen if you were legally challenged for having improperly laid someone off. Tell me more. How do you determine which employee should be separated? Remember, you can't arbitrarily select someone for a layoff simply because she is your weakest performer or because she happens to be in the position that's being eliminated. As a rule of thumb, you're obliged first to identify a position that is no longer necessary for some legitimate business reason. Second, you must then identify the person in the department or unit who is least qualified to assume the remaining duties. Once you have identified the position to be eliminated, how do you determine who is the person least qualified to assume the remaining responsibilities in the business unit? First, develop a list of all employees in that group with similar titles or responsibilities. For example, if you're looking to eliminate one of 3 secretarial positions in your marketing department, list all the secretaries, or people who handle secretarial duties, in that department on a sheet of paper. Second, review the nature of the remaining work to be done after the position is eliminated. For example, if the secretarial position reporting to the Vice President of Marketing is being considered for elimination, document the responsibilities that will remain in the unit after the reduction in force. Job descriptions are very helpful for such comparisons, in this case, answering high-volume or important phone calls, coordinating travel arrangements, composing written correspondence, and developing PowerPoint graphics presentations may be the key tasks left to be done after the reduction in force. Third, determine which of the 3 secretaries in marketing is the least qualified to assume those remaining duties. In essence, you'll be comparing all 3 employees' essential job responsibilities, skills, knowledge, and abilities. In addition, review the employee's annual performance reviews, tenure, and history of progressive discipline to create the appropriate written record. It would also make sense to review their work experience prior to joining your company so that tenure alone doesn't outweigh other considerations. Once that documented comparison has been made of the 3 employees who could potentially qualify to perform the remaining work, it's time to determine who is the least qualified individual. If a company has a legitimate business reason to eliminate a position, it probably shouldn't have a need to recreate that position in the near future. In other words, don't eliminate a position you think might be needed in the future. If a company recreates or reopens a position shortly after a layoff, it will be hard-pressed to prove that the layoff wasn't a termination in disguise.